What's your emergency?
Division, I need an ambulance immediately. I have someone down in front of my house. They hit a pole.
It's 2:25 in the morning on Black Friday, 2009. The most famous athlete alive just drove his SUV straight into a fire hydrant outside his own mansion in Florida and hit a tree. His wife Elin comes sprinting out of the house. She has a golf club, and she is not there to give him a lesson. The most carefully constructed image in the history of professional sport was about to come completely apart.
Your hair and eye color?
And it all started with a fire hydrant, a tree, and a very suspicious wife at 2 a.m. But before we get to all of that, let's talk about how the most disciplined athlete on the planet became his own worst enemy.
Do you understand? All right, go ahead and spread your feet for me.
This is the full story of Tiger Woods. Eldrick Taunt Woods. That's his real name. Not Tiger, Eldrick. Which, honestly, sounds less like a global sporting icon and more like a medieval accountant. His father, Earls, a former Green Beret, amateur golfer, a man who clearly had a very specific plan, nicknamed him Tiger after a Vietnamese soldier and close friend he had served alongside in the war. The nickname stuck so completely that most people today don't even know Eldrick exists. Earl introduced his son Tiger to golf before he could walk properly. Tiger was 2 years old when he first appeared on television, demonstrating his swing.
So right now I'd like you to meet Tiger Woods and his father, Earl Woods.
He was 3 when he shot a 48 for 9 holes. By the time he was 8, he had already beaten his father. Earl Woods once said his son would have a bigger impact on the world than Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, and Buddha combined. Most parents just stick a drawing on the fridge, but Earl Woods was building a mythology. Tiger dominated junior golf, dominated college golf at Stanford, and turned professional in 1996 at just 20 years old. Nike signed him immediately for $40 million before he had won a single professional event, not because of what he had done, because of what he made everyone feel was inevitable. And then he went and proved every single bit of it right. Within 2 years, he was the world #1. Within 4, he had won the Grand Slam, all 4 major championships in the same calendar year, something no player in the modern era had ever done. He didn't just beat other golfers, he psychologically dismantled them. Competitors would describe the feeling of seeing his name at the top of the leaderboard on a Sunday and simply giving up internally. Players who had beaten everyone else in the world would fall apart the moment Tiger was nearby. By the mid-2000s, Tiger Woods was worth over $1 billion. Nike, Buick, Gatorade, EA Sports, Tag Heuer, American Express, his face was attached to everything. He was earning roughly $100 million a year from sponsorships alone. The first athlete in history to cross the $1 billion mark. Golf courses reported massive attendance spikes whenever he played. Television ratings doubled, tripled. People who had never watched a single hole of golf in their lives would sit down for Tiger on a Sunday afternoon. In 2004, he married Ellen Nordegren, a Swedish model, famously private, famously devoted. 2 kids, a $50 million yacht, a $60 million private compound in Florida. The image was perfect. Every photo, every interview, every public appearance was carefully calibrated to project exactly one thing: a perfect life of a man. Here is where the story stops being a sports documentary and becomes something else entirely. Running almost perfectly parallel to the clean, curated public image was a completely separate life. Hotels in Las Vegas, nightclubs in New York, women he met at restaurants, at corporate events, backstage at parties, contacts saved under fake names in a second phone kept specifically for this purpose, text messages, detailed, reckless, written by a man who was genuinely certain he would never be caught. And this hadn't been going on for a few months. This had been running for years. While the charity foundations were being built, while the Nike commercials were filming, while the family photos were being taken the whole time. The first name to surface after the 2009 crash was Rachel Uckertal, a New York nightclub hostess. Tiger's team moved fast. A tabloid was paid to kill the story. An arrangement was reached. It should have been contained. It was not contained. Because the moment one name got out, the walls came down completely. Woman after woman stepped forward publicly. A diner waitress from Florida, an adult film actress, a Playboy model, a neighbor. Each one arrived with evidence, hotel receipts, text messages, and one woman kept a voicemail in which Tiger specifically asked her to delete his name from her phone because Ellen might call. He left that message on her actual phone.
Hey, it's Tiger. I need you to do me a huge favor. Can you please take your name off your phone? My wife went through my phone and maybe calling you. So if you can, please take your name off that. And what do you call it? Just have it as a number on the voicemail. Just have it as your telephone number. That's it. Okay, you gotta do this for me. Huge. Quickly. All right, bye.
A man managing $100 million a year in brand deals, and he never figured out that voicemails are saved. By the time the dust settled, 12 women had spoken publicly. 12. And that was only the ones who chose to come forward. The coverage was total. Every channel, every front page, every website. The gap between the image and the reality was so extreme that people genuinely couldn't process it. This wasn't a celebrity court doing something embarrassing. This was the systematic, years-long unraveling of the most carefully protected personal brand in the history of sport. The sponsors did not hold a meeting. They did not deliberate. They did not release thoughtful statements about standing by Tiger through a difficult time. They simply kicked out Tiger. Accenture went first. They had built their entire global brand identity around Tiger Woods as the symbol of high performance, precision, and integrity. Their billboards, which were literally everywhere, came down within days. AT&T cut ties. Then Gatorade quietly discontinued his signature drink. General Motors had already ended the Buick deal, but the timing made it look like a full stampede for the exit. By the most conservative estimates, Tiger lost over $100 million in endorsements within months. Some analyses put the number significantly higher. Tag Heuer stayed. Nike stayed. Nike always stays. Nike would sponsor a man through literally anything. They actually produced an ad using the recorded voice of Tiger's deceased father speaking to him during the middle of the scandal.
Boogie, 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 boogie. Okay, listen up. You can't be cheating on your wife, okay? Can't be cheating on, I did not cheat on your mother. Then again, I wasn't a rich, successful golf superstar. Okay, I guess I have to consider that.
In February 2010, Tiger held a press conference. He stood at a podium, read from a prepared statement, apologized to his family, his sponsors, the sport of golf, and to Buddhism.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
He's a practicing Buddhist and addressed it specifically, which almost nobody knew before that moment. He took 0 questions.
People probably don't realize it, but I was raised a Buddhist, and I actively practiced my faith from childhood until I drifted away from it in recent years. Buddhism teaches that a craving for things outside ourselves causes an unhappy and pointless search for security. It teaches me to stop following every impulse and to learn restraint. Obviously, I lost track of what I was taught.
He then checked into a sex addiction treatment center in Mississippi for 45 days. Ellen filed for divorce. The settlement was reported to be somewhere between $100 million and $750 million, depending on the source. She kept the children. She kept the house. And Tiger felt like he lost it all. In 2017, he was arrested again, found asleep behind the wheel of his car on the side of a Florida highway at 3 a.m.
You may begin when you're ready. Mr. Woods, you don't have to walk anywhere. Do you understand?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
I'm placing you under arrest for suspicion of driving under the influence, okay? Do you understand?
Most people assumed Tiger Woods was finished as a golfer. The public humiliation that played out on every front page on Earth for months. And then, just when the noise started dying down, the injuries arrived. 4 spinal surgeries between 2014 and 2017. He dropped completely out of the world rankings. There were stretches where he couldn't bend down to pick up a golf ball without wincing. Columnists wrote career obituaries. Fans felt sorry for him. Other golfers stopped mentioning him. The conversation moved on. April 14th, 2019. Augusta National Golf Club. The Masters Tournament. The most prestigious event in golf. Tiger Woods had not won a major championship in 11 years. 11 years of surgeries and scandals and slow Sundays watching other people hold the trophies he used to own. The world had genuinely moved on. A whole generation of golf fans had grown up never watching Tiger win anything. And when he arrived at Augusta that week, nobody was talking about him. The conversation was about the younger players, the new names, the new faces, the people the sport had moved on. While Tiger was being rebuilt piece by piece in operating rooms, he was given a spot in the field almost out of respect, out of history. A thank you for everything he used to be. The betting odds barely mentioned him. The analysts barely mentioned him. He was in the background. A former champion had returned, 43 years old, body stitched together with scars and surgical hardware, written off by critics.
Question always is, will he win another major? Here's what's going to happen. He is not ever going to win another tournament.
But behind the silence was something far more dangerous than confidence, is experience. And the moment everyone forgets who's boss, they return to make the entire world remember who they are. On that Sunday afternoon, something started happening on the leaderboard. His name began climbing. Slowly at first, the way it always used to, then faster. Then he was in the lead. And the crowd, tens of thousands of people who had packed Augusta, began to move, not towards the holes where other players were, towards Tiger. They always moved towards Tiger. By the time he reached the 18th fairway, the noise was unlike anything Augusta had heard in years. People were pressed 10 deep on both sides. Some were crying. Some had their hands over their mouths. These were grown adults, people who had watched golf their entire lives, completely undone by a man walking up a hill with a golf club. Because it wasn't just a round of golf. It was 11 years of watching someone fall further than anyone thought possible, and somehow, against every reasonable expectation, pull himself back up. The surgeries, the shame, the years of silence. All of it compressed into one walk up one fairway on one Sunday afternoon in Georgia. He tapped in his final putt.
I've always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? There's really no point in even going.
Tiger completes one of the greatest comebacks in Masters history, one of the greatest comebacks in sports history. He wins his 5th green jacket.
He turned around. He pumped his fist, and the crowd erupted in the kind of noise that doesn't sound like a sporting event. It sounds like relief. Collective, overwhelming relief that some things can still come back from the dead. Tiger Woods wins the Masters, his 15th major, his first in 11 years. The greatest comeback in the history of professional sport. He was a legend again, restored, rebuilt. The story had a happy ending.
We're coming on the air with breaking news. It has to do with golf superstar Tiger Woods, who has been injured in a serious car accident in Palos Verdes, California.
February 2021, Tiger lost control of his SUV on a road outside Los Angeles, crossed a median, and rolled down an embankment. The car was destroyed. Both legs were severely broken. Doctors described injuries so serious that amputation had been considered. Open fractures to the tibia and fibula, damage to the foot and ankle, multiple surgeries to reconstruct the leg with rods, screws and pins. It took 14 months before he played competitive golf again. He showed up at the 2022 Masters walking with a visible limp, clearly in pain on every single hole, and still somehow made the cut. And things got worse a few years later.
Oh shit, here we go again.
On March 27th, 2026, 3 days after Tiger had made a public appearance at a golf event in Florida, looking healthy, looking ready, with the Masters return being discussed seriously for the first time in years. He got into his Land Rover on Jupiter Island and drove into the back of a truck. The car rolled onto its side. Tiger climbed out through the passenger door. The sheriff's deputy approached to conduct a sobriety test. Tiger was on his phone. He looked up and said,
Yeah, I was just talking to the president.
He agreed to a breathalyzer, 0 alcohol, but refused the urine test. Body cam footage from inside the police car shows him nodding off repeatedly during the 15-minute ride to the station. He was charged with DUI, released on bond the same night, and days later pleaded not guilty. He then released a statement saying he was stepping away from golf to seek treatment and focus on his health. He also turned down the captaincy of the 2027 US Ryder Cup team. The Masters started without him. The comeback was over before it began. Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer who ever lived. 15 majors, $1 billion. A cultural footprint so large that entire countries that had never watched golf knew his name. He also had one of the most disaster private lives in sporting history. 3 car crashes, multiple arrests, 12 women, 4 back surgeries, a leg that nearly got amputated, and through all of it, the collapse, the humiliation, the physical destruction of his own body. He kept coming back.